Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to our very special broadcast today. I intend to share with you some secrets, and these are not official Federal Republic of Amazonia positions, but as a man of the press too, I'm following the news stories. I want to share some things with you and my own analysis of the issues. That's why I'm online. A luta continua. I want you to do something for me. Share this video. Invite some of your friends to join us. It will not be long today. I want to first of all congratulate every one of you for making it to this program this day. Okay? So do something for me. You just share so that at least we hit a reasonable number before the train starts rolling. If we can get to about 100, that would be reasonable. Please click share. Thank you, Mr. Anu Moket. Thank you. Flavor Nyingong, you are always there. Thank you. So I just want to, yes, Mr. Samuel, you are watching. Thank you for watching. Please, can you just share for me? Share so we can share some ideas together. And then as the audience keeps growing, yes, thank you, Tenola George. Thank you, Davido. Thank you, Samuel Abbott. You are my namesake. And Eric Ndifo, Perry Tegam. Thank you. If you are also sharing, then you are superb. You are super. Continue to share. And then share here. Please watch and share. I have a few things to warn. I have a few analysis to make. Can you please share with me? Share with me as I've also done. I want to talk to us about the thinking of the French, the inside intrigues of what is going on right now, the players behind the shadows, and the thinking of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and some players that have come into the game. Right now, there is a whole game going on in Abuja. I have some snippets of certain things that are going on which I'm going to analyze. This is not the position of the government, but these are things I think I can share with us. So please, let's hit 100, share now, so we can commence. Ambas Bay. Thank you. Yeah. Don Pacho. Thank you. Invite your friends and let's join together. I'll begin with some good news anyway. Okay. Yes, we hit 100 now. I can start. The good news is that our president, His Excellency, Siseko Ayoktabe, is alive. The good news is that his able lieutenants, his able associates, part of the interim government, people like Mr. Tassan Wilfred, people like Fongalafo, they are alive and doing fine. This struggle is alive. That's the good news. Put aside everything you have been told by the lying media, especially or paid media of La République and CRTV, Vision 4, and some lying newspapers. They have been paid for the press. Ignore them. I came to tell you they are alive. They are in Nigeria. They are not in Cameroon. That is the truth. You can go and put it in the bank. Our president and those who have been abducted, about 10 or probably more in number, none of them has crossed the borders into La Republique. They were not abducted by La Republique commandos, as they want to present. They want to show a lot of bravado, how they are powerful, how they are some Israeli type Mossad that are able to cross borders and go and kidnap people and bring them back home. Lies. None of that is true. The other news I have for you is that eto'o is panicking. They are panicking. Tell you the truth. I don't care the face that they try to present. That old man in eto'o is panicking. I don't think he sleeps for 2 hours a night. He is panicking. And if there's anything that makes this man to panic, it is not just that the Anglophones, as he calls us, or the Southern Cameroons that we are, Federal Republic of Amazonia, his fear is that we are organized. We are organized, and we have a government. You don't know what that means. That the idea of the government means that we are united. It means that we have resolved, like this time, like never before. So his fear is that there's no way he can stop this anymore. Because one of the criteria to get us international recognition is that we should be able to show that we are able to govern ourselves, we are organized as a people, and that we are united in our majority, and we have a leadership that's responsible, that is democratic, and that we are capable of filling institutions of government, and that we can govern ourselves. And that's a condition that will be considered by anyone who will be voting to grant us our request at the United Nations. If we ever come to that point where we are asking we have to present our credentials for membership, those are the things they have to examine. So the fact that we have a government, it sends shockwaves down the spine of La Republic. The number of groups we have don't do anything to the La Republic. Their fear is we have a government, we have a leader, and everybody at home seems to recognize that structure as the leadership of the nation. That is a problem to Biya. That is a problem to the French. That's the problem to the powers that have kept this caricature of a failure together for 56 years. They are afraid. They are afraid. Because anytime the government parades around like any other government, and government speaks with government, they are saying this thing is not going anywhere soon. This thing is growing from strength to strength. That is his problem. I'm saying this because I want to show you how we got here and what they are thinking. What the thinking of La Republique is. Now, the people who are frightened by the emergence of a united government over the people who are frightened most are those who have something to lose. And these people are the French and their hegemony in Cameroon and in Africa. As goes French Cameroon, so goes the rest of Central Africa region, or Central African French colonies. And from now henceforth, I give you this word: Never you call them La République du Cameroon again. Call them French Cameroon. That's the real name. We call them French Cameroon. French Cameroon. They are French Cameroon. So that to make it very clear that this is French and Cameroon together. It is French Cameroon. They are the ones exploiting the resources. They are the ones exploiting our resources. Okay? They are exploiting our resources because there was a secret pact that gave them all. There was a secret pact that gave them, handed them all our resources. So they are now scared that what is happening, if there's going to be any loser in this, they will lose. The number one resources that they get from Cameroon is the oil. So Total is there. And how do they call them? ELF is there. So they are frightened to hell. When this thing started, they said, just send some commandos, send your bills, send some armies, just beat them down, identify some of them that are ringleaders, lock them up, that's over. We just crush them, crush the uprising, the rebellion, take the ringleaders, kill some of them, force them to exile, and lock them up. That's it. Then to their greatest shock, it is not going anywhere. Now they are frightened to the core. And they are also blaming Paul Biya now that he has not done anything so far to stop us up to this point. But they should blame themselves because they are his advisors. So I want to show you the dark hands that are behind the curtains, that are working to try to bring us down. So right now, as I tell you, the United Nations is in Abuja. This is not just the United Nations office, but an envoy is in Abuja. The French and the French embassy, there's a French envoy in Abuja now, and the French embassy actively involved in Abuja right now. Then they have their other colleagues, people are working with them from other secret services. I will not be surprised if the U.S. Embassy is also right now involved in what is going on now in Abuja. And then La République dispatched a delegation that came with a plane that we from our insider information, that plane was meant to pick up our arrested, abducted leaders and fly them overnight to French Cameroon. But before the plane would arrive, between Saturday and Sunday, we had already internationalized the problem, the arrest or the abduction. So it was a botched attempt. So for that reason, they turned to option B. Their first option was this. They will use the Nigerian security system. I don't know whether by officially or unofficially. When they will look into the matter later on, we shall know, because in Nigeria you can engage the services of any security agency. The authority might not even come from above. It need not necessarily come from the top. If you have your way, security bosses. They can, anyone who's ready to be paid for the job, and it's a security boss, he can cooperate and do and deliver. Sometimes, if he can do it, if he can execute it very well, he can even deny any involvement in it, because there's much money involved. There's a lot of interruptions. Option A was get the security forces, arrest these people all in one place. It should be that they have a security meeting, because their venues are never announced to the public. so that nobody knows where they are going and nobody can look for them where they are going. So they will arrest them and then take them away and take away all means of communication. Then the Cameroon government will come in with their plane, maybe a military plane or whatever, come at night. The military or the security forces will escort these people, and then they will just put them in a plane, whether an helicopter or wherever, take them and cross the border. They are gone. And now, in order to cover their trace, they kill them. That was option one. It was going to be executed in a manner that, like right now, we would be asking, where are they? And nobody knows where they are. But God so kind, one person that was supposed to attend that meeting did not make it there on time. And his name was Arthur Miller. People went ahead talking all nonsense, asking questions they should ask, but landing themselves into conclusions over things they did not understand, the ways of God. God made it possible that somebody will miss his flight and will not get there on time. And that is the person that will get there very late after the meeting must have started, and then will be told none of your people is here because he alone knew the venue. None of your people are here, they have been taken. He said, what? Instead of lodging in the hotel, he said, let me run for my life and try to find out a few things, what is going on or what happened. Did they change the venue or what happened? Is there a problem? So for that reason, we're able to get information. Our God is wonderful. When we pray to him, we should also watch, because if not, we can be a problem for the answers that he will give us and how he chooses to answer. So their plan A failed. One, the operation was not hitch-free. Everybody now knows it. They did not intend anyone to know it. That explains the silence of the government, because it's an embarrassing situation. They did not prepare to make public statements on this issue. They did not know. They did not know they would be asked at any time what is going on, because that was going to be so covert, so secretive, so perfectly executed, no traces. And then they would just vanish. It would be like they went to Abuja and they disappeared. People would think of crimes, people would think of armed robbers, people would think of all kinds of things, and nobody would point fingers to the government. So it failed. And this is what the French have been doing. This is what the French masterminded. Because they have finally discovered that, especially after the 31st, when they saw 31st of December, they saw two presidents. They saw their own media analysts, their own political analysts. They saw this and said, this thing is not going anywhere. We will lose. And so they helped the Cameroon government to find a means of arresting our leaders and taking them out. The French know one thing: kill the leaders. And this is their calculation. If they should, it is not possible. They know that by killing or taking or imprisoning any leader, the revolution will not stop, right? They know that. The French know that. They know that these people are determined. Even killing 2, 3, 4 leaders, it will not end. The experiment they did with Abombala and Co. showed that it cannot end. But here is their calculation. When they see a popular leader that is able to unify a movement that is dreaded, their first plan is to take them out. When they take him out and his key lieutenants, now that will create a leadership vacuum. Then now the enemy now can zoom into the struggle to cause a lot of factions, a lot of divisions, so that this idea of a real government that has total support will not be. And that is what they wanted to undo. They were not trying to end the struggle abruptly by taking away the leaders, but they were actually trying to take away the leadership that is accepted on ground zero, so that they will create a massive vacuum that they will now come in now and divide the rest of the people and make sure that we never get there. So that was their calculation. They wanted to create a vacuum and make sure that by the vacuum, they now have a situation where there will be chaos and they can zoom in and cause a lot of factions, divisions, and now we will not be regarded as a people. We'll just be regarded as agitators, not people with a government that they recognize, that they are ready to fund, that they are ready to fight for, that is directing and calling the shots, that is able to talk to other governments, and that's able to negotiate on behalf of the people. No, that's what they wanted to undo. That's what they wanted to undo. So they were playing this card. They were playing the Niger Delta card. They told Buhari, you know how Buhari is scared of Niger Delta because of the use of arms and what damage they are doing to their natural resources and the source of their livelihood. They are scared of Niger Delta agitators. So the French came and started. They wanted to show some kind of collaboration between us and the Niger Delta, and that's what they told Buhari, to bring him to this level of cooperation with them, to make him an ally, because they have discovered that if Nigeria is our ally, that will be a very tough battle to win. And if there's any escalation, if there's a full armed struggle, then and Nigeria is on our side, they lose. So their intention was to get Nigeria on their side, and they started trying to show a collaboration going on between the Niger Delta agitators and the Amberland freedom fighters. That's a lie they cooked up. And they tried to say, well, these people, their agitation, if it intensifies, it will bring insecurity on this side of the borders for you. So do something about it. Meanwhile, these French multinationals are really, because they think that any war going on around these creeks will affect right up to Bakassi. And that means their oil shall eventually become a target. And it will be impossible for them to continue to do exploitation. So they don't want this thing to happen, because any war will be eventually associated with natural resources. Because they think that the war we will be negotiating with other people to trade the oil or pledge the oil that they are already exploiting for free. So they know that in one way or the other, their oil, which they call their oil, shall be up for sale. That's their fear. If it is not up for sale, it will be difficult for them to exploit it in a situation of war. So the French are terribly angered by this situation. They are frightened, to tell you the truth. And they are ready to do whatever they can do to break the yoke, to break the spine, the backbone of this struggle. And they targeted the leadership, thinking that if we bring down the leaders, the ship will scatter, the followers will scatter, and we will make it impossible for them to unite again to that extent that they can have a singular leadership over the struggle. So they also played the Biafra card. They told the people that, you know, this is a breeding ground for all the Biafra agitators. If we allow these people to succeed, they will, the Biafra can hide amongst them, bring in arms, and do other things like that. Buhari, that's not what you want to happen in the east of Nigeria. So clamping down on these people is also stabilizing the east of your country. This is how the French cooked it up in order to get Nigeria as an ally to the gangster regime in French Cameroon. So, you know how Buhari is afraid of these two phenomena happening in the east of his country. So he naturally fell for it and said, well, let me do something. And then the other thing is that the cost of the oppression going on in Nigeria, in French Cameroon, in Ambazonia, Nigeria is paying the highest cost of that war that is now led by French Cameroon over against Ambazonia. Nigeria is paying the highest cost because of thousands of refugees that are coming. Nigeria is having to take care of that. With all the security problems that may be associated with that, Nigeria is paying the cost. Hospitalization, Nigeria is paying the cost. Even feeding, Nigeria is taking care of all that. And this thing, if this thing continues, more and more are going to troop into Nigeria. So Nigeria is, once this thing resolved in one way or the other, it does not favor Nigeria in any way. So, even though option A of arresting them, handing them over secretly to La Republique failed, then now it is that it has become an open show. But they are still silent. You know what? Because talks are going on right now. Talks that were not initially planned, but now that it is this way, let them do option B. Option B now is forced negotiation. Negotiations that were not planned. Unplanned negotiations that may be going on now. Trying to see if they can talk to these people, trying to see if they can pressure them. They can, the French and the French Cameroon, all they do is bribe, try to see if they can bribe some and try to persuade some. But you know what? These people are made up of steel. You know the people who are there? His Excellency Sissoko Tabe, Ayok Tabe, and Patasa and Fongalafo. These are people made up of steel. They have just chosen the wrong people. They have got the wrong people in the net. And none of their expectations shall be granted. So don't even be worried about it. There will be nothing short of how we are going to separate. That's the only kind of negotiation they can get from the people that they are holding in captivity. If they think that by any form of negotiation they will land on anything less, anything more, it's a joke. It's just a waste of time. So I know the British, and at least from their embassy, they are French. The French Cameroon, their delegation is right there. They are with money, with everything. But I want to assure people, the poor Cameroon, the people of Ambazonia, that the corruption cannot win this war. We have gone past that. So don't even think there. Don't even think about it. There are only people who don't know who we are and where we are at this stage that even think that by bringing some couple of dollars there and rounding up a few leaders, they are able to change the course and change the outcome. That cannot happen. It is not happening and will never happen. Yeah. So, then the other thing, the other card, which the French are trying to play, they want to at least dirty the hands of the Nigerian government against us as a people. Just because they want to get them as an ally in the struggle. They know that if they can cause Nigeria to do some stupid thing against the Ambazonians, and then Ambazonians start reacting violently against the Nigerians, then it will become like the Nigerians against the Ambazonians, and the French Cameroon too against Ambazonians. So it will be 2 versus 1. But they don't want the 2 versus 1 to be Ambazonia and Nigeria versus French Cameroon. So they did all this one to be able to recruit Nigeria on their side, cause Nigeria to do some stupid thing, or it is not yet ended. They are still going to go into Ambazonia, try to kill some Nigerians, do anything that they can do to kill Nigerians, burn Nigerian properties, do some things, and stick it on Ambazonia and the freedom fighters, so that will generate anti-Nigeria sentiment and hatred for Nigeria, and the Nigeria would naturally cooperate with French Cameroon against Ambazonia. So they would have recruited them as allies. In this battle, in this struggle, there is a battle for the loyalty of Nigeria. That's the problem. They are every side is trying to get Nigeria on their side. The French are doing everything by any means, by tricks, by crookery, by bribery, by anything that they have to win Nigeria on their side as their allies, they are natural allies against the Ambazonian. Because they know that if Ambazonia has Nigeria as allies, the chances are that we will make it. Whether in the United Nations, Nigeria stands with us, we will make it. Whether in a military struggle or armed struggle, Nigeria with us, we shall make it. And so that is what they are trying to do. This is the struggle of who wins Nigeria on their side in the struggle against the Ambazonian Republic. But Nigeria should be careful, because these people want to dirty their hands. They want to create an artificial situation where there will be animosity between the Federal Republic of Ambazonia and the people of Nigeria. Let us be watchful. Let us be sure that that never happens. Let us watch and see, because these are the dark hands of the French and their mafia and the French Cameroon mafia to make sure that it happens, so that we will not have Nigeria as our ally. Because let me tell you, Nigeria is our #1 ally in this struggle. A lot of manipulation is taking place now in Abuja. All that is to win Nigeria as their ally, because they know that nothing suggests that there are any allies to the bloodsuckers in eto'o. But if they can create situations where Nigeria will dirty its hands, and Ambazonians will be angry with Nigeria, and there will be a war situation between Ambazonians and Nigerians, then they will naturally take advantage of that. So and call them the allies against us. So God bless you. I just came to share this with you, but that's all. Let's be wise. Let's not fall in their trap, the trap of the French. Let's not fall in that trap. Remember, the French doesn't love Nigeria. The French doesn't love, even the French Cameroon doesn't love Ambazonia. When the Biafra War was launched in the late 1960s, the French just came in and recognized Biafra. It's not that they did a bad thing. Biafra was trying to separate because of clear injustice and problems they suffered. But the French came in to be one of the first countries to recognize Biafra. Why? Why was it so? They did that just for calculation. They just calculated. They saw the oil. They saw the riches of the East. They did that not for any other reason, just for the riches. The French are just there for their interest. They don't have the interest of anyone else. So that is, and they have come again. Now they are manipulating, master manipulators. They are doing everything to manipulate the outcome to their favor. Because what? Because of their interest in the east of Nigeria and in the south of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. They will not succeed, because when people like us, we are still in this struggle, we will see every step that they take, and our people will be one step ahead of every step that they take. God bless the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Thank you. Bye-bye.